In this video, I'm gonna let you know the benefits and challenges that you have for global sourcing. This is Feng Chen, and I help people by sharing my marketing and business advices. So you might be a brand owner or an e-commerce seller. You're looking for answer of should I outsource my manufacturing in other countries? So in this video, I'm going to explain it to you, the pros and cons of global sourcing. So you can decide whether you should use a global sourcing or local sourcing. So let's get started. First of all, what are the pros, the benefits of global sourcing? The first one is cost savings. So this is not new to you, right? You know, for many other countries in the world, they're actually pretty strong at manufacturing. One of the reasons is because they have less cost, you know, for the production, such as the labor cost, or the rent, or the other things like logistic. Many of the case, if you, let's say you are located in North America, right? So outsourcing your production in other countries, you may see a great reduction of the production cost by 3 to 4 times than the local sourcing. You're actually getting a good advantage over your competitors because now by outsourcing your production, you're getting much lower cost. Then your profit margin and your return will be much higher. The second benefit is access to skilled labor. So let's say your product requires a lot of manual work. Some example would be umbrellas, right? Jewelries, clothing. So this type of products, they require skillful worker to work on it manually. They have to be properly trained over time. They gotta have many years of experience in order to do in that position. So in this situation, just get your production in countries that has a lot of skillful workers available. These countries, they usually have a large pool of skillful worker available that can meet your product requirements and production needs. The third benefit is expanded market opportunities. So let's say you are doing a global sourcing, from certain countries, right? You're having them to OEM or ODM your product. In this situation, if your product is actually have the demand in that country, you can actually develop your distributors or sales channels in there. In this situation, your product will be closer to the local buyers, such as the wholesalers, the stores, or the customers. So it actually gives you a little bit of advantage for the logistic. The next advantage is diversification of supply chain. It reduces the risk of disruption due to local issues. Because let's say you're having your production in your country, and your country is having some production issue, such as protests. Then your supply chain will be stopped because of this reason. But if you diversify your production in the local and global countries, then in this situation it will reduce your production risk. The next benefit is access to new technology. So you can actually gain access to cutting-edge technologies. If you're trying to outsource your production to a country that has a certain high tech for that type of product production. Economic of scale. So because you are getting a lower price, it has a lower cost when you try to source the products in other countries. Right? It means that you may be purchasing a larger quantities. With the larger quantities, you will get a good deal, on different parts in the supply chain, such as logistic. So you have just learned 6 benefits of global sourcing. Now, I'm gonna let you know the challenges or the cons of global sourcing. The first challenge is longer lead times. Because your production is far away, right? Your inventory is going to be far away, possibly from your existing customers. So you're gonna have longer lead times to deliver the products from point A to point B. It will have increased inventory cost and potential delays in meeting customer demand. Because of the slower response time, you'll have to plan things more accurately, much ahead of different your next season or quarter. The second con is quality control challenges. This is one of the most common reasons why people stay away from global sourcing, because they have a difficult time to control the product quality. Let's say you are located in North America and your supplier, the manufacturer, is in China. Then in this situation, you may have a harder time, to have a consistent quality checks for your product. The cost, especially for the time for you to pay consistent visits to the plant, is gonna be high. It will cost you extra time and money, just to get the product samples shipping from the manufacturer to your countries for several quality checks. Compliance and regulation. Having your production in other countries, meaning that you gotta learn about the country's compliance and regulations for that type of product. Is there any permission or documents required for certain type of product production or the materials that you are buying? So they actually, it could be very complex depending on which countries, and each country has a different policy. It will be a challenge if you are not very familiar with the policy of that country. The next con is currency fluctuation. To be honest, you never know when is the exchange rate, it's gonna be going crazy, right? So if it go crazy, one day, it will immediately impact your cost and profitability. The last one is IP protection. So let's say you are having other countries to manufacture your product, then you may have to spend some extra time and money just to get these IP assets to be protected in that country, including trademarks, designs, patents. Because every country has their own IP protection system, right? So you gotta learn that system and be prepared, to spend some extra time and money for that. All right, so this is the 6 benefits and 6 challenges of using a global sourcing. Before we wrap this up, I would like to hear your comments. Comment below and share your experience with others. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.